Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Deja, and if you're not new here, welcome back. It's been a good couple months since I posted a video on here, but you know, life happens, mom life happens, school started, and I just had to get my life back together. So we are here. We're gonna jump into today's video. We are gonna be doing not doing a book haul, showing you my book haul. I've gotten a few more than this, but this was like my most recent book haul. And then we will be talking about my September TBR, which is like kind of all over the place. It's not set in stone. I feel like August, I didn't do a TBR for August, and I kind of just went with the flow. I'm not really sure how many books I read this month, but it was okay not having a TBR. I feel like this week has been hard because I went like 3 days without reading a book, and that was stressful because I wanted to read something, but I don't know what to read because I think I'm like in this buddy mood, like buddy read era, where I just want to buddy read with people, and if I don't, then I don't know what to pick by myself. So that was a little all over the place. So September, I'm gonna try to set a very like general TBR. I'm not like set in stone or anything. Also know I'm gonna read a lot more than this. I've been reading at least 20 to 25 books a month these last couple months, so these are just a few that I know for sure I'm buddy reading, and for the Facebook book group. And yeah, so let's jump into the video. So the first two I have are romance books. The first one is Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan, and I heard a lot of good things about this. I hear a lot of people compare her to like a Abby Jimenez, Emily Henry type of vibe. So I'm excited to read this. I definitely need to like read this ASAP because we're already going into September, so hopefully maybe I can squeeze this in. I also just have to be in the mood for it, but we'll see. So this was our first one. Another romance we got. First of all, I love this cover. I don't know why, it just gives for me. I don't know, it does something to me and I love it. I don't know if it's just the pink gold aesthetic here, but I just love it. So this is Dishonestly Yours by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Don't know what it's about, but I just know obviously like the Addicted series is very much a toxic couple, you know, that typical romance of toxicity that they deal with in their types of books that they write. So yeah, this is their new series I believe they're coming out with, so I wanted to grab the first one. I don't think I'm gonna read this anytime soon because it's gonna be a series, and then I'm gonna be pissed off waiting for book 2. So we're just gonna wait, but I had to pick it up because I just thought this cover was so pretty. Can love survive a web of lies? Yeah. Okay, so next we have a dark romance, which is Sinners Anonymous, and I bought this one because I think my book bestie said she wanted to read it, so I figured I'd buy it so that when we read it, I have it, you know? That makes sense, right? I don't know, but it looked good, sounds good. I've just been needing to add more dark romance to my collection. I feel like I haven't really been buying dark romance because I haven't really been reading a lot of them, but also I feel like I'm not reading a lot of them because I look at my shelf and I'm like, that's old. So I just need something new to kind of excite me. The rest are pretty much all fantasy that I purchased. So first is Sleep in Spirit by Courtney Thorne. This was actually a TikTok made me buy it purchase. Again, one of my Discord girlies sent me this video of, I think it's a duology, and she sent it to me and said like it sounds really good, and me and her have been buddy reading like a whole bunch of books together lately, so we both decided to get this book, which it sounds great. No clue what it was about, I forgot. I think it was like a reverse harem. Is it? I think it is. Something about she's in a kingdom with the royal family, and something about her freedom being taken, and then she has 4 men. I think. Might be mixing this up with another story. but she has to like fight back to get her freedom, and we love like a badass female main character, so there's that. Next was The Blood and Ether by Harper Hawthorne. I actually have had this on my TBR for a long time. I think someone I used to buddy read with, she had the arc for this one, and she said it was really, really good, and the ending was like painful, and I love a good painful book. So I finally just jumped the gun and bought the physical book now that it's like been released already. So we'll see how that goes. Next is more of me starting a lot more of series. I feel like I am in an era of like I just want to binge read series at this point, especially when it comes to fantasy books, because it's hard to find a standalone fantasy book, and there's always just like series, which is hard because you don't ever want to like be in the middle of like 15 long book series. So I bought them with, you know, the mindset of I'm gonna read them once I finish other book series that I'm in. So the first one I bought was Blood and Steel from Helen Schuer. We're gonna go past that. But Blood and Steel, this is also a pretty popular book, but again, this is part of a series. I think there's like 4 books in this series, if I'm not mistaken. One just recently came out, so that's that. I don't really need to talk about that because again, it's part of a series that I'm going to read soon. I just started another big series. So then the next 2 I purchased were the Book of Azrael and The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. So I purchased these 2 because we are only getting 3 books in the series, I believe, and I don't think the third one out, or maybe the third one just came out. So again, I get to be able to binge read these, hopefully, because I can't do these long ass series. But I feel like I don't really need to explain these are also very popular fantasy reads. And then I guess we'll do it this way. Then I purchased, this is the series that I actually just recently started with my book bestie, and we already read the first book, and we plan on doing the tandem series read where you read both of them together, which is the Blood and Ash series. So we just we just read book 1 from Blood and Ash, and that we are starting book 2 actually next week. So this is actually my segue into my September TBR, but we are reading this one next, and then we are following the reading order of like you read the first 3 and then you read the first book of Fire and Flesh. Yeah, so I'll be buying those as well, but I figured since the first 3 I will just buy. I have this one in paperback already, but it was like short and thick, and then I had the first book of Flesh and Blood, and they were like completely two completely different sizes, and I wasn't having it. So I'm gonna sell those on my Pango store, and then I purchased these so that I can have them all looking how they should look together. So that was pretty much my haul for what I recently bought. So on to my TBR. As I stated, we will be reading book 2. I'm sure we'll probably read book 3, but we'll just start with book 2 just in case we don't get to book 3 this month. I'm also, again, like I said, I'm in the middle of big book series. I also wanted to start the Plated Prisoner series. I think that's what it's called, the one with Guild. And I was supposed to start that one first, but I didn't have it on my Kindle, so I didn't start it because I'm definitely reading more on my Kindle than a physical book. So I actually already had the first 3 of Blood and Ash on my Kindle, so I decided to start that instead. But I also am in the middle of Zodiac Academy still. I am on book 6. I actually started book 6. I think I got to like chapter, oh my god, my pages are bent. I got to chapter 8 or 10 or something like that. So I need to, I haven't picked it up since, so I read those chapters. I think it's because I got gifted the audio version of this book and I never listened to the audio, and so now that I'm listening to it, I don't like the voices that are happening in the audio. So I listened to it and then I haven't listened to it since, but I think I'm just gonna read it because I cannot with the audio, just cannot. Then I have Reckless. I finally read Powerless last month and obsessed. Like, I totally get the hype. I gave it 5 stars, loved it. It was so good. And then even just like that ending, y'all, I slept on it, but I finally got on page and I loved it. So I got Reckless and we are going to be buddy reading this too. So I'm super excited to read this. Like, I need to know, although I hear that this one ends, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I heard people say this one ends on such a cliffhanger too, and I'm just like unwell already because when do we get closure? So these are actually buddy reads as well. One of the girls on Discord that I've been like buddy reading nonstop with, Karina, these are on her TBR and I'm just adding them on mine because she's been helping me with my buddy read addiction. So we have The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I didn't think that was her last name. I don't know why. And then The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by B.E. Schwabs. I've had this book forever too, but we're gonna read them. I know me and her are constantly talking about like, we are ready for Halloween, we're ready for spooky season, so we're trying to like transition into our fall, wintry, cozy, mystery, thrillery vibe books. So that's it for my physical books. I do have a list on my Kindle that I don't physically own, but I do have most of them on my Kindle. So the first one is actually Catch the Sun by Jennifer Hartman, and that is actually our Facebook and Discord book club choice that they picked for September, so we are reading that. Filthy Rich Vampires, that I know that's another series as well, so you know, I don't know what I'm doing to myself. I actually just started that this morning, so don't know if that'll be considered. I don't know if I'll finish it before the next 2 days. So if I do, we'll probably just be reading the second one in September anyways. And then Saving Six, guys, can we take time out? Can we take a minute? I finally hopped on the Tom and Boys bandwagon, and me and the Discord girlies, well, Karina and another girl, Key, we are reading, and Kylie, but you know, one of them is struggling, so we're waiting for her to catch up and feel the pain that we're all feeling. But we read Binding 13, and guys, unwell. So I was really bored. I struggled and I forced myself to get through it because I know this series is really good. It just was so slow for me, and it was annoying that she was like 15 and I'm like, this is out of my age bracket. Like, I'm an old lady and I just can't relate to these characters. But it was just so much more than that when you keep on reading the home environment for Shannon, and I feel like that's pretty much what kept me going on the first book, is learning about Shannon's like home life and everything that's going on in her house. That drama alone was like so painful that it kept me going. Then I think like the ending of book one, that ending was so painful that we're like, okay, we gotta get into book 3. So we actually just started book 2, Keeping 13. So we just started that. I don't know if it was yesterday, I believe we started it. So, but that's a pretty thick book. I am trying to finish it this month so that I can put it onto my August reading wrap up. But either way, we will be reading Saving Six, I believe is book 3. Yeah, Saving Six. So that's on my TBR for September, Saving Six. But guys, I was unwell and unprepared for this series. If you guys read that, like, please let me know. Does it get less painful as I go on? Because right now It's painful. Next, Cersei, I think Madeline, I can't remember her last name to save my life, but Cersei by Madeline something, the same person that wrote The Song of Achilles. Can't get my thoughts together. Again, these are all on Karina's TBR, and I'm just buddy reading them with her. The other one is The Perfect Son by Frida McFadden. Again, I've just read The Inmate by her. Did not love it. I feel like her books are so hit or miss. But I don't give up because I want to like love more of her books. Because when it hits, but most of them miss. So we'll see. I didn't love that one. Then we have The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. I've never read a Nicholas Sparks book before, but I saw Larry Reed's start to read this, and she just said she couldn't because it was just so sad and it was giving her like anxiety, and I was like, okay, I need to read that. So I told Karina about it and we added that into our TBR. I already mentioned Zodiac Academy, and then the last one I have on here is Madness by the Queen, Chantal Tessier. As you know, that book comes out tomorrow. No, on Saturday. No, tomorrow I think. So of course we have to get that read ASAP because we need some more Lords and Spade Brothers. So yeah, that's pretty much my TBR. This was my haul. This was me coming back onto my channel to show you guys I'm still alive and still making videos for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys have read any of these, if you guys read Blood and Ash series, if you guys read any of these, please let me know. And if you made it this far into the video, please leave some sword emojis for all these wonderful fantasy books that I have here to be read very soon. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.